Welcome, guys. Coach Lair, first question for you. The team retained nearly the entire coaching staff from last season, and you only needed to add one new position coach for this year. How does that continuity help you build a foundation and strong culture within the locker room?
Yeah, well, first of all, I say it every year. I do think it's an incredible privilege to sit up here, be in this room with great coaches and great players, and certainly a special shout-out this year to Coach DeMarco. I know he's going to have a word for me after, but someone that has meant so much to this conference, to this region, and to small college football. So unbelievable privilege to share the field with him as competitors one final time. As far as our staff goes, anytime you retain 7 out of 8 coaches, I think that says a lot, but it also makes the flow of the year a heck of a lot easier. In particular, you look at the recruiting side of things, there's a certain level of trust that is built up between coach, and between coaching staff. And it's nice knowing then if you bring in 3 or 4 late over the summer before camp starts, you have to almost hit reset and regain that trust in those relationships. So it's nice that we're going to be able to hit the ground running with all the new recruits that we're welcoming into the program, both from a first-year standpoint and a transfer standpoint. I also think it helps from a conversational piece throughout the offseason, throughout program building, throughout the playbook. Again, you're not starting from ground zero. So the conversations that maybe you have late in the spring or early in the summer as you welcome in a couple new faces, we finish those conversations, put those to bed, and you're on more in-depth, more meaningful conversations. And I think it allows more comfort between head coach, coordinators, and assistant coaches as well, too, because they know the standard of what we want, know the expectation of practice flow, of the culture, of the weight room, that they're more inclined to challenge. We're more inclined as a staff to figure out ultimately how can we tweak things and make things work. So I think it helps everywhere, to be honest.
Fletcher Hammond, who's here with you today, is expected to be a key piece to the defense after missing last season with an injury. What about Fletcher makes him such a great leader on and off the field?
Yeah, I'm sure all the head coaches in the room kind of have a prototype of the ideal player that fits their program or what they look for in recruiting. I mean, in my book, when I sit down in a living room and talk to a family, I hope that young man transforms into somebody just like Fletcher. He is the Allegheny College prototype. Number one, I mean, he's incredibly smart. I'd ask anyone to challenge him to explain what his internship was this summer at the University of Buffalo and what he was doing there in the neuroscience field. Just absolutely incredible. From the football side of things, he is someone that does not lack experience, has been a playmaker for us since he arrived. With an injury-shortened junior year, I know that also makes him hungry. It also makes him humble of the importance of the game of football, what exactly it means to him, and finally the tenacity standpoint, his toughness to get back from that injury and challenge himself throughout the spring was remarkable. He's somebody, in my opinion, that is very comfortable being uncomfortable, and that's where growth happens. So to see him push himself in the weight room throughout being a leader on the practice field in film study, it was awesome.
Looking back at last season, in what areas would you like to see the most improvement during the upcoming season, and what areas do you think will be the team's biggest strengths on the field?
Well, certainly a lot. I mean, you never want to take a step back in the competitive realm, and going from the season we had in 2023 to what the results showed in 2024, there's a lot to improve upon. In particular, it's ball security and then generating turnovers on defense. If you look at our 2023 season, we threw the most passes in the President's Athletic Conference and then had the fewest turnovers. So we did a great job protecting the ball, and probably one of the reasons why we competed at a high level. Unfortunately, this past year, we went from first to worst. We threw the most interceptions in the conference, and I coach the quarterbacks, so that starts and ends with me. Got to be better protecting the football and making sure we're not giving an opposing team any easy opportunities. On the flip side of it, we were also near the bottom of the conference and generating turnovers, and those momentum-changing plays on defense matter a whole heck of a lot too. So those are the primary areas in this conference. In my opinion, you have to be able to run the football. You have to be able to defend the run if you want to challenge those top 3, 4, 5 teams. So those are the other main statistical areas that I hope we show significant growth. And in the weight room, I think we showed it. Our first full recruiting class as a staff just finished their freshman year, and we test the bench, the hang clean, and the squat, and we're close to 91 pounds. I'm right at 91 pounds per player stronger on average in a 12-month snapshot. So I'd like to think that should help us as well. So those main statistical areas, and obviously the most important one's the win column. Want to take a dramatic step forward there.
Last question, as you enter your 3rd season as head coach, what are the goals you'd like to see your team accomplish on the field in 2025?
Yeah, we're back to 1-week seasons. It's a challenge for us every single week. It's going to take our very, very best. We're not going to be as young as we were last year, but we're still going to be one of the younger teams in the conference, if not the country. So we've really got to compartmentalize our season into 1-week stretches, give our very best from a game planning standpoint and effort standpoint, and preparing to challenge every team in the conference. That's what we want. At the end of the day, I think we're going to be in a position with the guys that we have returning and the guys that are coming into the program, both from a freshman and transfer standpoint, to I think surprise some people. So we're excited to get the ball rolling, but it's a one-week season every week.
Okay. Thank you so much, Coach. And now we'll have a couple questions for Fletcher. Your first question, your junior season was cut short due to injury. How excited are you to be healthy again and ready to get back on the field?
Yeah, I'm thrilled. Having the season cut short, it was pretty tough on me, but one of the biggest things that helped me push through the rehab and the long injury was having one more year and being able to get back out there with my boys. And like Coach Lair said, just hunger, man. I just can't wait to get back out there.
Coach talked about what you bring to the team, and as a senior, what are some of the things you do to set a good example as a role model for your teammates?
I'm big on accountability and leading by example. I hold others to the level of accountability that I hold myself. And at Allegheny, we strive for a certain threshold of dedication and effort, and whenever I feel that's not being reached, I'm pretty vocal about it.
What do you hope to see this team accomplish on the field during your senior year?
I want to see all the hard work that we've put together these last couple of years finally be put on display. I think all of us in the room here are striving for a PAC championship, but more than that, personally, I just want to leave Allegheny better than I found it. I want to put it in a better position to be successful in the future.
All right. Thank you, Fletcher, and thanks again to Coach Lair, whose third year leading the Gators. Will kick off September 6th with a home game versus Denison, and Allegheny's PAC slate kicks off September 20th at home against Teal.